everyone, and welcome to Kane Chat, where we talk about just anything and everything that I feel like talking about. Now, today I have two things in mind if you've seen the tag for this video, but I'm probably going to save the final thing for last because, I don't want to bore people. So, I am going to be talking about the Pokemon Multiverse. Yes, I got this picture online. It's the best thing I could find that actually has this. And if you notice, I didn't have my nice little regular picture because unfortunately I am currently on another computer. But anyways, thanks for MatPat for the image. Because I'm going to talk about the Pokemon Multiverse. Now, I want to clarify a few things that actually is canon and actually not officially canon. Rather, it's actually more in the theory. For example, MatPat goes on to ignore it for example. Anyways, MatPat goes into pretty good detail about how the Pokemon Multiverse works, and I've seen other people, and pretty much in the games, it pretty much is confirmed, but not to the extent that people keep on thinking. The main thing is, yes, what has been practically confirmed by Nintendo is every single, all the versions, like red, blue, yellow, all the way up to sun and moon, etc. They're all canon in an alternate reality of different games. For example, like the original Ruby and Sapphire. They hinted at it severely in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that they're pretty much part of the same canon. Including in Sun and Moon, which I won't go into full details about how you find this out, but basically they make strong references that this one character was from another dimension. And most possibly, she was from Emerald version. Now, again, plus the whole fact that, I'm just going to throw spoilers out the window. Yes, there will be spoilers. The fact that after you beat the Pokemon League and you take your legendary at night to, where you caught it at, Altar of Sun and Moon, or Moon, depending on the version, you'll actually go to the other version. Granted, it's mostly aesthetics, except the fact that it's the other day. So, instead of being at the Altar of Sun, you'll now be in the Altar of Moon, and the time of day will change, which helps for that instance. So in a sense, it kind of fully further confirms that, the other version technically still exists. However, the one thing that is not canon, at least not yet, rather will be or not, is the fact that every single version of every single copy of each version is canon. That is not official. That is not even canon. They haven't even really hinted about it. Yes, they've hinted about other versions, like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire have hinted strongly about Ruby and Sapphire. They even hinted at the other version of the game, and again with Sun and Moon. But there's been no, except one thing that I'll get into in a second, that really even hints that every single copy of your game of the games is canon to the multiverse. A lot of people think, oh no, it must be. No. There is different, quote, canon things to the story. For example, canon, the trainer that went through, Kanto, canon-wise, it was red. It wasn't Leaf. It wasn't JC, as I basically choose. No, his canon name is Red. Things like that. So that's why, a lot of times they're like, anyways. So no, there isn't an alternate timeline canon to the Pokemon Multiverse where your version of the character exists. However, there's one bit of evidence that may point to it, but then there's a bunch of other things that it could mean. And that's the fact that's basically legendary Pokemon. For example, Red in Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow, depending on which one, can catch can catch Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Yet, oddly enough, the trainer from Pokemon Crystal, I'm referring to she because it's the first time you use the gender. You can pick a gender. Anyways, she can catch, she can catch those 3 Pokemon. I'm pretty sure in the Sinnoh games you can catch those 3 Pokemon. In fact, even in... Actually, I forget which one it was, but I think it was Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or maybe it was Black and White. Either one of those 2, after Diamond and Pearl, you can catch Mesprit, Azelf, etc. But again, I mean, it makes you wonder, that's like evidence. Oh, that must mean that every single copy of the game is canon, whether you catch it or not. Well, there are other things that it could possibly be. So that's why it's not an official thing. Number 1, canon-wise, those trainers might not have caught those Pokemon. I mean, Red might not have completed the Pokedex. I mean, it never says. In fact, Oak... canon-wise, he might not have, completed the Pokedex. It's not the first time that a game has basically allowed an extended ending or something like that, but that ending or whatever isn't actually canon to the actual series. Example of this, for example, would be Sonic the Hedgehog. How basically at the end of, say, Sonic 1, he does collect the 6 Chaos Emeralds, and he does finish it. But if the player fails, or doesn't collect the Chaos Emeralds, that's not canon, even though that's a possible ending. But it's not necessarily a thing. But again, that's why really, so that's one example about how, that could. Number 2 could simply be that, they're legendary Pokemon. Maybe they just got released, Red, these Pokemon, they kind of hold something and whatever. Maybe they got released, maybe they forced the trainer to release them, maybe they just... Or maybe they burst out of the Pokeball and just went on their way. Honestly, if you can catch a Pokemon that can control time and space, well, I should go, or space. Surely they can bust out of a Pokeball if they wanted to. I'm not saying that's the answer, but it's still another possibility. A third possibility is simply the fact that, maybe they, or maybe, for example, maybe each version of the game is completely part of a separate, timeline or whatever. For example, as in Red is technically not part of the same time. The events you play through when you play Pokemon Red version is not in the same timeline as when you play Gold version. Basically, it has it's the same story, kind of like how it's been in a sense, but not necessarily the same thing. So again, so that's different explanations as to why. So that doesn't necessarily mean, again, it could be that, but again, it's not anything, there's no actual proof that every single version of it. They've hinted strongly that each version is part of the multiverse, but there's no actual evidence specifically that says each copy of the game is canon. So that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to talk about for episode 7 of this lovely Kane Chat. Again, I wasn't able to get my lovely picture that I usually show at the beginning because I'm currently doing this on another computer, and unfortunately I thought I had it part on my Google Drive. Anyways, next part I'd like to talk a little bit about the channel. My goal would be to somehow upload upload at least a Kane Chat every week. I'm going through a little phase. I'm going back to college, and, well, yeah, basically, my basically, long story short, I moved out of my house to save money to, in order to help with different college expenses, or basically just have some spending money when I went to college. So I'm currently living with my parents. Unfortunately, they don't have the best internet, which basically I have to do the first 2 months online, but you don't care about that stuff. Either way, in approximately April-ish will be about when I really start to be able to upload more. I'm going to try to work on this Let's Play, which, as you can see by this title, I'm trying to work on a Let's Play Pokemon Red version. Unfortunately, I have to restart the original one I was working on, primarily because of sound issues, and I wasn't able to fix them in time. And yeah, it's just not very well. So, yeah, that's just about wraps it up. So, hope you enjoyed, and leave any comments below. And hey, if you like, maybe subscribe and be able to actually see when I get to post my next video. And again, awesome image thanks to Matt Pat of the Game Theorist. And yeah, okay, bye. Catch you later.